Love it. Atma Namaste, guys. Atma Namaste. Christian R. Long, Life Enhancement Consultant, giving you a big and beautiful shout out on this Thursday evening. For those of you who've been following the streams for a hot minute, you'll recognize or realize that I'm usually pretty much gone around this time heading over to do Zouk dancing classes here in Denver, Colorado. But no Zouk tonight. They're doing bachata instead. Those bachata people, what nerve. But I want to jump on real quick and kind of review a video that I did about maybe 4.5 years ago. And I was covering the topic of what is the difference between therapy, coaching, and energy healing. So the people who watch these streams, a lot of them are healers, a lot of them are coaches, a few therapists here and there, probably maybe 15-20% of the people who log into the streams regularly would probably fit into the therapy category. But I did this video roughly about 4.5 years ago because the girl that I was dating at the time was in a coaching program, and we were kind of discussing that because I've been doing energy healing professionally for 13 years, and I had never hired a coach, and I didn't understand the coaching process, but I have worked with a therapist in the past, so I was trying to get clarity. There we go. Sorry guys, just making sure it's not in private. I'm all like squirrely and jittery about this whole private mode versus public mode in the videos because I did like an hour-long meditation on Tuesday and realized the entire time I was talking to myself. The cool thing was you guys actually ended up logging on and watching the meditation to get benefit from it, and I think we had like over 300 people eventually check out the meditation. So what is the difference? What's the difference between therapy, coaching, and energy healing? Well, this is an easy way of looking at it. Therapy brings somebody who's dysfunctional, meaning their life is in complete disarray, or in a specific area of their life, it's in complete disarray. Their health, their relationships, their finances, their clarity in their life's purpose, midlife crisis, addiction, something like that. People who are quote-unquote out of control. Therapy brings a dysfunctional person to functional, meaning they're having their life operational to a certain degree. Now, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a counselor, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a psychotherapist, but I am somebody who has a tremendous amount of experience with people with emotional mental disorders over my 13 years of doing this work, as well as using these tools and techniques on myself. So therapy brings somebody from dysfunctional to functional. So there's a coaching program called IPEC, and they work with the 7 levels of energy. And I'm not going to go into all the details of the 7 levels of energy, but the 2 I wanted to bring about was the first, or the lowest level of energy, is level 1. So level 1 is like depression, apathy, lethargy. Like, forget it. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to move my life forward. I've given up on life, right? So that's level 1. Level 4 is from the heart center. So people who are very orientated about helping other people become better, right? So their mindset is, I win if you win. I win if the other person wins, right? So they're very heart-centered. But they base their happiness on whether the other person is winning or not, or whether the other person is validating them or not, or whether the other person is acknowledging them or not. So your happiness is in the hands of another person. So the people who are level 1, the people who are basically dysfunctional from this model, are people who vacillate from level 1 to level 4. So they're giving, and then they have resentment, and then they go down to level 1 of depression, of apathy, of lethargy, of like, forget it. I'm done helping humanity. I'm done helping my friends. I'm done helping my family members. I give up, right? So that's level 1 and 4, people that are vacillating. So in this model, they recommend people who are level 1 and level 4, which they have a profile that you can go through. That person should be getting therapy or counseling or even medication. Again, I'm not a psychotherapist, I'm not a psychiatrist, I don't prescribe, I don't treat, I don't cure, any of that stuff, okay? So contact your professional therapist or your licensed healthcare practitioner to find out more about that. Then you have coaching. And coaching is bringing somebody from functional, meaning they have most of their life together, functioning, to optimal. So they're making this much at their job, they want to make this much more at their job. Their relationship is going well, they want to improve their relationship. They're very clear on their life path and they want to move their life path forward. They have a spiritual practice and they want to take their spiritual practice to the next level, right? So that's a little bit of a distinction of bringing somebody from functional to optimal, and coaching helps with that. And what I like about coaching that I have not witnessed in therapy is, as well as with mentoring and advising, is that people have a tendency not to ask questions. So they talk at somebody, they tell somebody something, right? But they're not getting their buy-in. They're not acknowledging, they're not validating, and they're not getting somebody's buy-in. So you could have the most profound insight imaginable into another person's situation. Maybe you're a coach, maybe you're a mentor, maybe you're an advisor, maybe you're a spiritual teacher or a healer. You can have the highest level of perception that is like, if the other person got that level of perception, it would totally transform their lives to another level. But if that person isn't receptive to that message, there's no buy-in, there's no bridge for them to walk across from where they are to where you think they should be, then there's going to be no deal. There's going to be no transformation. So that's what I really like about coaching, is you ask questions to get that person interacting, to get that person bought in, to get that person to have, the experiences. So I think that's what's really, really beautiful about it. Does that make sense? Is that clear? Is that not fuzzy for you guys? I have a really weird feeling. Weird. I guess like the new settings, it doesn't tell me who's on. I see you guys are on a different page. I don't see you on this page. So that's coaching. So you have therapy or counseling or medication is bringing somebody who's dysfunctional. Their life is completely out of disarray or out of order, and then bring them from dysfunctional to functional, and then coaching is bringing somebody functional to optimal. Now, where does energy healing fit into that? So I've been doing this work, pranic healing, which is a very comprehensive energy healing modality. I've been doing it for 13 years professionally. Transformed many, many people's lives, including my own, through this process. And it's taking somebody's vibration and raising their vibration. It's removing negative thoughts, negative emotions, negative energies within their system, and allowing their soul energy to basically call the shots and to take over. Does that make sense? So a great spiritual teacher about 100 years ago from Tibet, Holy Master DK, said all disease comes from lack of soul contact. All disease comes from lack of soul contact. So the reason we're angry is because we lack soul contact. The reason we're depressed is we lack soul contact. The reason we're confused or lack clarity in our lives is because of lack of soul contact. So by doing energy healing, you clean the aura, you clean the meridians or energy channels, you clean the chakras, and you allow the person's higher soul energy to pour through them, connecting them to their source or the source of all. So you can kind of see now, if you can combine energy healing with therapy, it can accelerate somebody's healing rate. If you combine energy healing with coaching, you can accelerate somebody's healing rate. For instance, so somebody is suicidal, and I've had this happen a few times in my business where people were suicidal, or not sitting in the healing chair being suicidal. Actually, I take that back. One example comes to mind. But I mean, people who are suicidal distantly, pranic healing, energy healing modalities are done distantly. The technique is practiced distantly. Whether it's 3 feet or 3,000 miles, it's still distant. So that person still needed to talk to somebody. That person still needed professional medical attention or sounding board, even medication, even putting them in a lockup facility for a period of time. It's called Baker acting somebody. But at the same time, by using energy healing, you can stimulate a certain chakra in that person's energy body to prevent them or increase their will to live, prevent them from killing themselves. So that's a very powerful technique. So you can see how that would help somebody. Or if somebody is hysterical and they don't have access to medicine or they don't have access to a hospital nearby, you can apply pranic healing to cleanse the hysteria, the anxiousness, the grief in their system so they calm down. And I've done that over and over and over again over the past 13 years. So, how does energy healing and coaching work together? Excellent question. I'm glad you guys asked. Coaching is about acknowledging, validating, and asking clarifying questions. Not for the coach. The clarifying questions are for the other person, so they can have their own aha, their own breakthrough moment. So, let's say through the coaching process, somebody has awareness that they have low self-esteem. They didn't have that awareness before, right? They're functional, but they want to take it up to the next level, and the reason they can't take it up to the next level is because of low self-esteem. Makes sense, right? So, that being said, now that we have the awareness of low self-esteem through the coaching session, the person can then get energy healing on removing the low self-esteem or the lack of good self-esteem and good self-image, and then flood that person with confidence, with inner peace, with good self-image, good self-esteem. Makes sense, right? So those components facilitate and accelerate the healing process of the individual. So that's why therapy and pranic healing is very powerful together. Coaching and pranic healing is very powerful together. And you can have really beautiful transformations for people. And pranic healing is a very comprehensive system of energy medicine that has over 20 different classes, 20 different books, 20 different CDs on every area of your life, from your health, your wealth, your relationships, your spiritual growth and development. It covers a lot of things. So, do you guys have any questions? Weird. I think I'm constantly putting it on private. I got to figure this out, because I know there's more people that have questions about this specific topic. I chose this topic tonight because I thought it'd be super interesting. And you guys can always put questions in the comments below about what we covered. Therapy, coaching, energy healing, what the differences are, how we can use them interchangeably to accelerate the healing and transformational rate of an individual. For those of you who are looking to transform your life, I highly recommend going to christianrlong.com/services. Go to the bottom of the page, and there's something that says the Inner Transformation Package Application. By filling out that application, that gives us an opportunity to have a discussion about us working together for a 10-week program that I developed. Basically, it took me 11 years to develop, and I re-released it about almost 2 months ago, which is basically 10 weeks of coaching, healing, and homework assignments to make your transformation permanent through this process. And I guarantee the result for people, because I know how powerful this work is and what it's done for people all over the world over the past many years of me doing this. So, more information, christianrlong.com/services. Go to the bottom and fill out the Inner Transformation Application, package application, and then I look forward to connecting with you. So, that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing Thursday night with lots of light, love, power, and healing energies on all levels without exception, and I look forward to connecting with you very, very soon. This is Christian R. Long, Life Enhancement Consultant, wishing you a beautiful Thursday night, weekend, week, and life. Atma Namaste. Bye-bye.